At Arizona State University, we've made online education better, smarter, and more personalized so you can go further in your aspiring field.
I decided to pursue medicine once I realized that ASU did have the online program for biological sciences. You're still required to learn the same curriculum. You're still being tested on the same content that anyone would be tested on in person. The comprehensiveness of the program prepared me so well for medical school.
Explore over 350 plus programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
Hi, I'm Daniel Licus, and welcome to Book 101 Review. Book 101 is all about the books that I read for the last 40 years. And today I have my special guest. She's an immigrant to Australia to become a general manager of a national healthcare business by the age of 30, helping emerging leaders turn challenges into success, none other than Miss Natalia Ochodnicka.
Hi Daniel, lovely to meet you.
Welcome, Miss Natalia on Book 101 Review. And can you please introduce more about yourself that I miss?
Absolutely. So my name is Natalia. As you pointed out, I came to Australia 5 years ago. I started cleaning houses of wealthy people. That was my first job. And within 5 years, I became a general manager of the healthcare company in Australia, which is one of the biggest national companies here. And now I decided to take my experience and help other emerging women leaders in their journey and overcome all the challenges.
And thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world, Miss Natalia. Thank you. And today let's talk about leading when you don't feel ready. So tell us, let's start with the core. What does the voice, I'm not ready, actually sound and I feel like? And how do you learn to distinguish between a legitimate lack of a skill and simple imposter syndrome?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, the voice always sounds the same. And for me, it was the voice of fear, where I didn't want to fail. I always wanted to please everyone around me. And I always wanted to have everything perfect before I did something. Right. And so when I was given this opportunity, of course, the first thoughts were like, I'm not ready. I'm young. I can't do this. How am I going to do this? I will fail. I will not succeed, which ultimately leads to I will not be accepted and loved. So I think this is a normal human reaction, and we just need to be able to recognize that without this feeling, I don't think we would be able to build anything in life, because you do have to have a certain level of respect. And you having these kind of emotions, I believe, means that you do care for the outcome. However, when you go back to what is even being ready, right? I deeply believe that none of us on this planet even know how we got here in the first place. So at the end of the day, we are all trying to figure it all out. I think the only way we learn is not by reading books, by studying, by listening to podcasts, but it's actually by doing. So you become ready when you step on that journey and you learn, you fail, you adjust, you learn, you move on, you continue, you win, you lose, you fail, and you move on, right? So what is always important is to be humble, listen to people that are more competent, that are around you, so then you can build that competency. Because feeling ready is two things. Is mainly having the competency and the skill to do something, which will mainly be built by doing again. Of course, there is a learning that you always need to do right along the way, in terms of theory and how you do things, but the practical component is always most important. So that's how you build competency. And then the another component of not feeling ready is, you're in a different phase of life. You don't feel like you want to grow the career now because, for example, you're going to focus on having a family. So that is a different story, and that should not be connected to the thoughts of fear that you have at the moment, right? If you are in the point of life where you could explore building a career, it means that you are ready. So the voice that you hear is to say, I'm not ready. It's just the fear that is trying to speak to you, right? And
I earned my degree online at Arizona State University. I chose to get my degree at ASU because I knew that I'd get a quality education, they were recognized for excellence, and that I would be prepared for the workforce upon graduating. To be associated with ASU, both as a student and alum, it makes me extremely proud, and having experienced the program, I know now that I'm set up for success. Learn more at asuonline.asu.edu.
and you basically have to recognize that fear, and what I had to learn accept the fear that I have. It actually helped me to build who I am until now. Because without that, I wouldn't be able to grow, I wouldn't be able to challenge myself, and essentially I wouldn't get here. So the fear is really important. It's just how do we work with the fear and say, I know, I recognize you're here. Thank you for all your help right now, but currently I don't need you. I need you to trust me now because I want to step into this new opportunity and I want to see where this really takes me. So to wrap this up, I don't think we all feel always ready. In fact, I don't think anyone feels ready for anything in this life, and we are just trying to learn and figure it out as we go, and we improve as we do.
Interesting, Miss Natalia. So, what is the first mental shift or reframe a leader must make to move from a mindset of I am fraud to I am capable person who's growing into this role?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, and that's a very good question because it's a question that even until this day I keep struggling with, right? But what helps me personally is to always look at my past achievements, right? Questions like, is this really true? Am I a fraud? Why do I think this way? What is it that makes me feel like a fraud? Is it just lack of information, or am I not communicating things right? At my work, for example, when I was trying to, because I had to build the team of now almost 70 people in just 4 months, 14 months, and we didn't have any systems, any processes. So basically from scratch, and I was a completely new leader. So I had to take it all as my own and try to build something from nothing. And obviously, part of this was selling that business idea to our CEO, whose net worth is around $2 billion now. So I was sitting in a room with him, and I was trying to tell him how my ideas are amazing and how it will all work, and he believed me, right? And then after that, I felt like a complete fraud. I'm like, I lied to him. I told him that something that is not true. I'm not going to make it happen. How am I going to make it happen? And then I sat down and started creating. And I was said to myself, if you were able to sell an idea to a billionaire who has been in the business for 40 years, there must be something about it. If they promoted you, if you were promoted, it was based on some of the results that you were showing. So these are all the proofs that you have that actually say that you are not a fraud. And even if it doesn't work out the way that you sold them, they accept that. They know that already. They took that risk. They understand that this might not work out. As with any idea you have in the business, the ideas might work, the ideas might not work. So it's just really coming back to, why do I think this way? What makes me feel like a fraud? And if it's just, oh yeah, I sold something to someone without fully understanding the how I'll do it, well, they accept it, they agree to it. So it's really it's really them understanding, making the informed decision based on what I told them. So it never makes me a fraud. I've never lied to anyone. I've always been transparent with everyone. And everyone around me, all the executives, understand that I'm young, I'm trying to figure it out, and they just support me. They support my crazy ideas, and they are willing to take the risk, and they accept and understand that it might not work out. Right? So,
Yes.
that's
Yes, people take the risk. Why not? Take the risk.
it.
Where is the line between healthy self doubt and the kind of debil- deliberating self doubt that paralyzes decision making?
Yes. So again, self doubt is a huge component of my life. In fact, I keep questioning every single move that I have. So I keep working on that in terms of my personal development. But the line is really drawn when I need to speak to this feeling of self-doubt, right? I need to recognize it's there. Why is it there? What did it try to teach me? How did it help me until now? But then also say, well, right now I have two options. I can either keep doubting myself and never feel confident, never feel like I'm good enough, never feel like I'm able to achieve something or I'm capable. Or I can say, let me try it. Let me park that self doubt for now. Let me try my best for as long as I can, and then I can see whether this works out or not. And if it doesn't work out, I at least learn something on the along the way. So self doubt, to some extent, of course, again, it drives us, right? But if it extends some boundary, it won't allow us to grow anymore. So it's important to say, well, the self-doubt, it's good that you are here, and I'm grateful, but if you take a vacation now and you give me a little bit more trust, just let me try to do what I'm trying to do here, and because that will make me feel easier, right? And I will not be pressured, I will not be stressed, I will actually be able to grow and achieve something because I will have the trust. So the reframe is, you always have two options. You can either keep doubting yourself, or you can actually try and do something. And if it doesn't work out, that's actually good, because at the end of the day, you have learned, right? And it will get you somewhere. Are you there? Or did it drop down?
In your first week in a role where you fell in over your head, what are the first three concrete actions you should take to build foundation of a competence and confidence?
Yes. So when I always reverse engineer everything. So when I looked at what do I have to do, where do I need to get, what is the outcome, right? So then I take it back and say, okay, what is the first step that I need to take? It is always about the first step that I need to take. So for example, when we were trying to build a business and create a P&L, a budget, to make sure that we are a standalone business unit, right? I said, well, I don't know how to do it. I don't know what to do. I don't know what kind of people I need. What is the vision? So I said, okay, so what is the first thing that we need to make this all work? Well, we need to know what is it that we are really creating, right? So the first step I took was I sat down and created a strategy presentation that I then presented to our executive team. So then we could actually define what is it, what is the business going to look like, where do we want to play, where do we focus, where do we invest the money, and so on. So you develop competency by thinking of what you need to do, what is the first step, and then making research on how to do that first step, right? So it's always kind of a preparation. And for example, when we had these monthly board meetings, and it was my first time sitting in a room full of billionaires, millionaires, and executives, and I was the only woman that was 29 years old, right? I sat down a week before that and I researched, what do I need to do on these meetings? How do these meetings run? How do I present myself? How do I talk to these people? How do I talk to this topic? I knew what I wanted to present. I had my presentation. I did my preparation. So you don't have to know it all. You just need to know what is it that is required from you, and then you can research. Now we've got internet, we've got podcasts, we've got ChatGPT. Then you can find out how do you actually make it happen? How do you create that competency for each step? So again, you don't need to be this confident leader of 30 years of experience. You just need to know, you just need to develop the competency with every single step and task that you are about to take. So, for example, if I had my first difficult conversation with one of my employees, I sat down and actually put it in ChatGPT to say, I have this conversation. The conversation will be about this and about that and about that. I want this and this outcome. What would be the best way for me to communicate this message? And this is how I learned to communicate the difficult messages. This is how I learned how to create presentations, how to present, how to get my point through, and so on.
Interesting, Miss Natalia. Interesting indeed. So, what are your short-term and long-term goals as a general manager?
Yeah. Obviously, my short-term goals are to make sure that everyone in my team loves the workplace. They love to come to work. They see the vision, the purpose. We are going towards the end of the financial year. We only have we're in the middle. So I need to make sure that our business unit performs well, that the revenue keeps coming so we can grow the team. In terms of long-term goals as a general manager, obviously I want to be able to set up the team to function almost without me and take it beyond whatever we do right now. My second long-term goal is to give the experience and knowledge to other women emerging leaders, to make sure that I help them feel easier when they are in this process, so they don't have to go through the tough moment alone as I did when I was growing in this space. And I'm still growing, because I knew how important it was for me to have someone by my side that I can lean on, that actually understands what I'm going through as well in terms of the professional work. So yes, these will be my goals moving forward.
Good luck to your goals and looking forward for more success, Miss Natalia. And what would be your piece of advice for those people out there who want to be like you?
Don't be afraid, be brave, be courageous, and help people around you. No one is a competition. You only grow by lifting others up. You know, there is this perception of some people that the only way to climb the corporate ladder or to climb up is to compete and to put other people down. But for me, it all happened because I was there, and until this day, I keep lifting others up. I keep helping everyone around me, and I support their success. I keep saying other people's or other person's success doesn't mean your failure or is not your failure. So support other people and be brave. Be brave to think that you can do big things.
Yes, and I thank you for that advice, Miss Natalia. And what would be your piece recommended? Can you please recommend a books that influence your journey?
Yeah. So the book is The Mountain Is You by Brianna Wee. And the book is about how much we limit ourselves in life. And once we are aware of it and get through it, we are able to grow and achieve great things.
Yes, and thank you for that recommended book, Miss Natalia. And looking back on your own career, what is the role or project you took on where you felt completely unready, but that experience become the most significant catalyst for your growth?
Yes, so that would be building the team of 70 healthcare professionals from scratch. I am not a clinical person. I have no clinical education. So the number one thing that came to my mind is, how the heck am I going to do this? Because I have no idea about this industry and how healthcare in Australia works, especially now that I'm an immigrant as well. But it turned out into this amazing growing experience where I've learned that the only way for us to succeed is to surround ourselves with people that are smarter than us and listen to them and be guided by them and just lead the ship to make sure that we all see the same vision. It has been a crazy ride because we all made it happen within just 14 months, with some teams being built in 6 weeks of 23 people and so on. But it was the most transformative experience to this date, because it made me realize how resilient I can be, and how much I can trust in my own abilities. And it basically increased my confidence massively from this girl that was very um, fearful of everything when, I started in this role. I now fully trust my own abilities and skills to be able to create amazing things.
Create amazing things, and congratulations for those amazing things, Miss Natalia. And how can organizations better identify and support high potential leaders who may not feel ready in order to build more resilient and courageous leadership pipeline?
Yeah, give them autonomy, give trust them, let them fail, let them make mistakes, give them freedom in creating what they feel like they should be creating, because everyone is full of such amazing ideas. And just get out of their way. If you identify a talented person, let them do what they're passionate about. Get out of their way. Just support them, be their rock, support them in the process, be there for them, but let them make a mistake, and put them in the situations that make them grow, that force them to become someone different and better as well.
Miss Natalia, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world. So, can you please invite our listeners to support your advocacy, your business, or whatever projects that you're doing right now?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can connect with me on my LinkedIn, and I am also building my social media Instagram platform, so that will come out soon.
Yes, people, let's follow Miss Natalia so that if you follow her, for sure, more and more empowering advocacy to come. So, Miss Natalia, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Modican people, see you soon.
Sorry.